Ji was closest to the door. As she chatted happily with Bohee, she turned her head slightly and caught a glimpse of the guy behind Lanya. It was just a glimpse. Ji quickly diverted her eyes from the guy. Her fingers instinctively tightened her grip on her chopsticks and the smile on her lips instantly froze. That guy. She recognized him. In other words, she'd recognize him even if he was reduced to ashes. Ji may have looked away, but she still felt the guy walk closer to the dining table with Lanya. Her toes cowered nervously in her high heels. Following the crisp sound of Lanya's high heels, she said sweetly and softly, "Let me introduce everyone to my..." Lanya paused for a moment, as though she was hesitant about something. After 2 seconds, she continued. "Friend, Hijiken. Hijiken." Ji was almost certain it was him, but when she heard those 3 words, her entire body involuntarily shivered for a moment. Yes, that's right. The single quote Hijiken Lanya just introduced was the very same Hijiken who took her innocence 4 years ago. He was the same Hijiken she'd summoned her courage to confess to, who ripped her top that night 4 years ago. He was the same Hijiken who told her, "See, even if you stripped your clothes off in front of me, I wouldn't be the least bit interested in you." He was the Hijiken who said, "If I hadn't drunk so much that night, do you think I would ever touch you?" And the same Hijiken who said, "Oh, and if it's possible, I hope you never show your face in front of me ever again." What's more, he was the Hijiken who Ji never wanted to see again in her life. 4 years ago, Hijiken was just a senior high school student. Wherever he went, he lit up the room. Now, 4 years later, the years strengthened his charisma, as his aura seemed to have intimidated the entire table of people. After Lanya finished introducing him, the room fell silent, before someone finally summoned the courage to weakly say hello. Just as before, Hijiken wasn't an enthusiastic conversationalist. As everyone said hello, he only gave a slight nod in response. His every movement seemed visually pleasing and majestic, yet distant and polite. Ji didn't greet Hijiken, nor did she raise her head to glance at him. Perhaps it was because Hijiken was far too perfect that an entire room full of people were drawn to him, but he never noticed her lack of manners. Hijiken's arrival interrupted the rowdiness of the room. After a while, the atmosphere became lively again, as everyone started to chatter away loudly to no end. Ji couldn't quite bounce back from this sudden reunion of sorts, as she wasn't able to enthusiastically re-enter the group conversation. As she silently sat there in a daze, she kept a rigidly upright position in her chair. Ji tried her best not to think about what happened 4 years ago, but those memories resurfaced one by one in her mind. Ji started to shiver gently. Afraid that someone would notice she was acting strangely, she tightened her hands into fists with all her might, digging her sharp nails into her palms, inflicting waves of pain. Ji wondered if she was the one who disfigured her own palms like that. Without specifying the person, everyone knew he was referring to Lanya when Hijiken asked, "Wanna get out of here?"